What's up, guys? Welcome back to Project Freelance. Today, I have a special Skype session with one of my fans. So this week, I have Harry on the podcast, and Harry is an aspiring vocalist. And Harry has been watching my vocal covers for years and is going to start getting into doing her own vocal covers. So I wanted to record this session and create a podcast out of it for you guys so that you too can hear a little bit more about what it's like to be a vocalist and some tips and tricks on vocals. And we give a lot of resources in this episode actually for other teachers and educators and people that are doing tutorials and things online for vocalists, especially people like Lauren Babick, who is a really amazing vocalist and such a good friend of mine from Canada who does vocal lessons via Patreon. So if you guys are vocalists and you're looking to get some vocal lessons, and you're trying to learn how to scream, especially for ladies that are trying to learn how to scream, you should definitely check out Lauren Babick. She's amazing, you guys. She's a fucking amazing person. So yeah, definitely highly recommend. We'll talk more about that in this episode. Before we get into it, I just wanted to let you guys know that I have a new song with Chasing Satellites out called Houston, We Have a Problem. It is available everywhere. Add it to your Spotify playlist, add it to your YouTube playlist. I really love this song. It's a shorter song, but it is such a banger, and I wanted to give Austin Carlisle a run for his money and see how long I could hold a scream out for. So yeah, go check out Houston, We Have a Problem after you listen to this episode of Project Freelance. I hope you guys enjoyed this session. Harry, thank you for coming on. Please do me a favor and introduce yourself to all of the listeners and what you need help with when it comes to being a vocalist.
All right, so my name is Harry. I am almost 21, very important detail, musician from Las Vegas, and I just kind of wanted to talk to you more just about vocals and just like transforming your voice, because I feel like we're kind of on similar paths, and I thought it would be an interesting conversation.
Hell yeah. So I take it you're a vocalist then?
Yes. How can you tell?
So do you sing? Do you scream? Like, what is your thing? Do you sing opera? Like, what are you doing? Salsa music? What are you doing? What are you singing here? What's happening? What's going on?
I'm singing. I'm trying to pick up how to scream, but all I can do is really just like the weakest vocal fries right now. I haven't quite figured out how to turn it into a power fry yet. So.
Okay, so I'm going to say right now that as a metal screamer and like the names and the types of screams, I don't really know them. I just fucking scream. And then people are like, scream higher or scream lower or make it more raspy or do this. And then I do. Like, I don't understand. Like, if you were like, do a power fry, I don't know what the fuck that is.
Okay. Well, okay, this is just how it was explained.
But you're going to teach me. So I'm excited right now. This podcast, I'm learning things.
Woo! All right. So how it was taught to me is that a vocal fry is just like the distortion that, just like happens just kind of like in the back of your head, that isn't sitting on your vocal cords. Like, that's the actual distortion. The power fry is actually turning it into that full-fledged scream.
Amazing. I get it.
So, yeah.
I totally
So that's just how it was taught to me. I'm currently just trying to learn all this stuff for myself. So
that's great that you're learning like the techniques and the names and stuff, though. That's great. See, I just like figured it out as I went, just by like people would, say, yo, scream like this person, or like do this kind of thing. And I was doing so many like vocal covers that I was just trying to emulate all of these different screamers that scream very differently. So that's kind of how I like figured out my different types of scream, just by like doing covers of other people's vocals. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm mostly just like on the path where I'm trying to scream, period.
Yeah. So are you like watching tutorials? Like, what are you doing to learn how to scream?
I am actually taking lessons.
Sick. Who are you taking lessons from?
Lauren Babick.
Good. Okay, I was gonna say you should watch Lauren's videos, like, if you haven't. No, that's great. That's so sick that you're doing that. And I wish that I could also because so many people have asked me, like, do like vocal tutorials or like teach us how to scream. Like since I started this shit, people have been asking me to teach them how to scream, and like I don't know how to teach you because I don't know how I do it. I just do it. And so that's why people like Lauren are so great, and like Melissa Cross. Like I think Lauren's doing it a little bit differently than Melissa Cross did it because Lauren knows more about, and not to say that Melissa Cross doesn't know this stuff, but Lauren knows about like the vocal techniques and the theory behind this stuff, which makes her such a great teacher. So like, yeah, anybody listening, you should definitely take vocal lessons from Lauren Babick. For sure.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend taking screaming lessons from her, and also from this woman named Mary Zimmer. She runs this YouTube channel called Voice Hacks, and if you really want to know like all the technical stuff behind screaming, that is the person to talk to. She does both singing and screaming lessons. She's the singer for this melodic metal band called Helium Prime, which is also great. You should check it out. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm doing some shameless promotion right now, but it's for other people, you know?
Yeah, but they deserve it. And like, that's the thing. Like, these are like super valuable resources for vocalists.
But yeah, absolutely. So definitely I recommend, if you're getting into screaming, actually learning how to do it properly from a teacher so you don't hurt yourself.
Yeah, don't do it the way most of us vocalists did it. Is what you're saying. Like you should, yeah, if you want to do this like for a career, the more you know, that's the thing, the more you know about what you're doing, like theory wise and like as the education part goes, the better off you're going to be. And that just goes with any type of field that you're going into. Like personally, like I just taught myself, you know, and I should study more theory. So that's something that I'm going to definitely like strive to do.
Definitely. I would say if you're getting into screaming, at the very least, just buy Zen of Screaming.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
At the very least.
Yeah, Zen of Screaming for sure. And you can get it on DVD, which is probably like the coolest way to get it because I feel like that's dope.
So one of the things that I admire about you the most is just like how far like your singing has come like in the past year and a half. Like it's come a fucking long way. And I was just wondering, like, what's like the weirdest thing that you did not expect from just, just like just through that process, just trying to actually better your voice.
The weirdest thing?
Mm-hmm.
The weirdest thing that has come from me improving my singing and figuring that out is listening to my voice. It's still weird to me. I still question myself. I question myself every single day. Literally yesterday I did 2 covers. I did a cover we're working on. Okay, so I guess I'm just going to tell everybody here right now. So Chasing Satellites put out an album and it was called Valkyrie 1, and it was a Women of the 90s tribute album. So it was like a compilation of 90s songs that me and my friend Ryan worked on together. And it was just a bunch of 90s songs, and we filmed a bunch of videos and made YouTube videos for all the songs, put it out on Spotify and iTunes. And then we were like, okay, well, we've done Women of the 90s. We should just keep going. So currently we are finishing up. We have 3 more songs to do out of, I think, 12 Women of the 2000s. So we have a bunch more coming out. So he's actually flying down from Toronto next month, and we're going to film a bunch of videos, and then we're going to put all those out on YouTube. And so that's going to be like my fall and winter upload schedule, basically, is going to be Women of the 2000s stuff. So last night I did vocals for the song Before He Cheats. I don't know if you've ever heard that song.
I used to fucking sing that song almost every day.
Okay, so it's one of the greatest songs that exists, and it's a country song. Like, I don't know, people listening, like, how you feel about it. I don't give a shit how you feel about it because it's a really dope ass song. Like, no matter what genre it is, but I grew up in Oklahoma riding horses. Like, I grew up with country music. My first concert was George Strait, for goodness sake, like. I wore my cowboy hat and my cowboy boots, and I was like 8 years old, and it was the greatest, okay?
Aw, I'm
And
sure you were adorable.
I was super cute, okay? I was super cute. Little tomboy in my cowboy hat and boots. It was great. His album Hotel Diablo. Check it out if you haven't. It's great. But so I did I Think I'm Okay. And so I'm listening to these songs back, and I can definitely tell, like, wow, I kind of know what I'm doing. Like, it kind of sounds like I can sing here. Like, holy shit, I don't need to ask Ryan, like, make me sound really good, you know? Because, like, it sounds pretty decent. And it's like, but it's still weird. It's still weird to, like, realize, like, holy shit, I sing as well now, because singing has been a goal of mine my entire, like, vocal career, because all I've ever wanted to do is be a singer, but screaming just came naturally and came more easily to me, so I just kind of fell into it, you know? It just kind of fit me better, so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna scream. And I never got lessons for singing, you know? I mean, I was in, like, choir in middle school and high school and stuff, but I mean, not the kind of singing that, you know, you want to do for, like, writing music. Like, choir singing is like you're singing the same boring ass songs with just notes. It's not like they're not teaching you how to sing like rock or any of that kind of stuff. So the weirdest part for me definitely is still hearing my voice, to be completely honest with you.
Hearing your unedited voice, like I've gotten in the habit of just, like, recording all of my practice sessions. It's just like, oh, I think I did really good, and then listen back to it, just like, oh, I sound like shit.
Yeah, and it's like, it's a very normal thing, but it's all perception as well, because, like, when we hear ourselves, like, people, for example, like, people, when they, like, hear themselves talking, even, like, on a video, like, if you record a video of somebody, they're like, oh, I hate how my voice sounds, you know? People are just weird with themselves. We just, like, I said something the other day to a friend of mine, and he was like, oh my god, you should put that in a song. And I was like, well, we all gotta hate somebody, and most of us just hate ourselves, you know? And it's like, we judge ourselves, and we have this, like, weird perception of ourselves that we, like, hate in a way, you know? Like, we're like we're our own worst enemy. And when it comes to vocals, I feel like, yeah, that's my I don't know. I just feel like I'm my own worst enemy, and you probably feel the same way about your voice.
Okay, I wouldn't say that, like, I hate myself per se. As
well, that's great. That's a great start.
I almost like view myself as, like, you know, that like that older female relative, like, you know, that's like always has something to say, always has, like, something to critique, and is always judging, and just never stops. Like, they love you, they just won't stop critiquing you.
Yeah, because they want you to be this, like, perfect ideal thing.
Exactly. I feel like that's how I view myself. Like, so it's not out of hate, but it's just like, you know?
Yeah, like, you just want to refine everything. Like, you have, like, OCD when it comes to yourself, basically.
Kind of, yeah. I'm the kind of person where throughout a lot of my life, I have had extremely high expectations for myself and terrible habits. So, like, failure is inevitable, obviously, but then when I do fail, I feel so horrible about it, you know? So I'm just like, I'm almost 21 fucking years old, and I've been struggling with this for like 10 years, and I'm just now starting to let that shit go, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it takes time, like, you know, like, I know this has nothing to do with music, but, like, I'm 26, I'm still trying to figure out who I am. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going through, like, right now, like, I'm dealing with this idea of getting top surgery, and this whole idea of, like, I don't want people to think that I'm trans because of it. And I know that's, like, a really weird thing to say, but, like, yeah, it's something mentally that I'm, like, dealing with right now. And I don't know how this is relevant to our conversation, besides, like, judging myself.
Hey, tangent improved. Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it just, like, the perception that I have of myself and like the perceptions we have of ourselves and how other people see us and judge us, I think that it drives a lot of the motivation for me just in life to like pursue what I want to do, you know? So like for everybody listening, if you're dealing with these kind of like self-critiques and self-judgments, just remember like you're trying to better yourself at the end of the day. So like maybe don't be so hard on yourself, but yeah, I just want everybody to know that like they're not alone when it comes to this shit. Like we all deal with our own version of self-critiquing.
I would also say just with the top surgery thing that like as a cisgender woman who already gets mistaken for a trans man most of the time, especially when I'm at work because I'm allowed to wear a shirt and tie, like it can be a little hard, but like there's a way to just not care as much, if that makes any sense. Like you kind of get used to just like everybody assuming that you're a dude, because I get called sir like a lot of times, and sometimes when I'm having a bad day, it bothers me. I of course don't say anything because like, okay, you guys can't see me, but like I'm a very androgynous butch woman, right? Yeah, but like, so like obviously like it's not like, you know, I have like long hair or anything to just say, oh hey, I'm a female, you know. But
yeah, and I think people like, you have to give people the benefit of the doubt. Like they don't know at the end of the day. They're trying to figure it out. Sometimes people only have like 3 seconds to figure out who you are and come up with this image and this idea of who you are in your head. Like literally, like think about how many people you see every day and how many little things you think about every person you see. Like, oh, this person's probably this person's probably dealing with this, or like whatever, you know. Like if you could, like, okay, so I don't know if you've watched the new season of Orange is the New Black yet. It's great. Okay. No, it's great. It's great. But anyway, so there's one episode where they're in the prison, and obviously, because that's what the show's about, but they're in the prison, and one girl, it goes into like her inner like thoughts, like her inner dialogue, and she's walking through the like the main area of the prisoners' housing where all the girls are like hanging out and shit. And you just hear her thoughts, and then you hear what another girl's thinking, and then you hear what another girl's thinking, and then it just becomes louder and louder, and more voices come in, and it's literally people just saying like, God, her breath stinks, or like, you know, shit like that. Like, but it's like little things like, I'm not crazy. Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know if I'm crazy. And like, it's just all these internal thoughts of people like talking to themselves or talking about other people. So it's like, we have to remember at the end of the day that everybody's doing their very best. They're trying their hardest. Well, most people are trying their hardest. But yeah, I mean, I get mistaken for a dude all the time. Every day. Same. And I have a feeling like once I get top surgery, it's gonna, obviously people are gonna even more think that I'm a guy. And I'm not a guy. You know what I mean? I just hate my boobs.
I feel like we live in the kind of world where I can just say like, hey, if that's what makes you happy, go ahead and do it. You know, I feel like if people like Ash Hardell can do what you want to do and, you know, just be happy and go on with their life, then why shouldn't you, you know? Yeah.
And I kind of just see it as like another form of body modification, you know, at the end of the day. It's like, you know, getting horn implants or whatever, you know how people get the little bump things put in their heads and stuff like that. It's just a body modification. Okay, back to vocals. Sorry for that long ass side tangent about, you know, other things. For the LGBT audience, you're welcome. Thank you for listening. I love you guys. All right, vocals. So okay, so you're taking lessons from Lauren, which is tight. Are you I'm gonna put Lauren's course on the spot. How is it? Because, I mean, like, how is it? Tell people about it. Tell people what you guys do, like, what kind of stuff is involved. And, yeah, if you recommend it, let people know.
Okay. Well, first off, I will say I definitely recommend it. Like, Lauren is just, like, a good teacher. to start with. Like, obviously that's like having a good teacher or not is going to make or break a lesson, but like it really is important. And she really is a good teacher, and I really enjoy like all the stuff that I've been doing with her. Yeah, she like listen. She's also like a very patient listener. Like, she'll listen to like all, like I can nerd like I can nerd out about like, you know, my favorite bands and all the songs I want to sing, and she's just like, okay, yeah, that's great. Why don't we try this? You know, and I'm just like, fuck yeah. So she's really patient. She's a good listener. You know, and like she's very chill. Like, I feel like Lauren is just like a very chill person in general, but she's also a very chill teacher. So I feel like it's really easy just to be like honest with her about how much you didn't practice in the last 2 weeks, you know, and stuff like that. Which is weird, because I feel like I'm getting to a point where practicing isn't a problem, but like there's all these songs that I want to sing, so like just sticking to the songs we've already picked is hard sometimes, and actually practicing those. So she definitely knows a lot just about like distorted vocals, but she also knows a lot about clean vocals that I've been learning from her. So sorry, I'm trying not to get into too many spoilers, because you should totally take Lauren's lessons.
For sure, 100%. Yeah. I need to take her lessons. I wonder if she would teach me. I should ask her. Lauren, I'm gonna get her. I don't know. Okay, so I haven't had her on the podcast yet because she's so busy with her 18,000 bands and all of their successes, and she's currently in Texas eating a bunch of American fast food. Congratulations, Lauren. I'm so glad that you're gonna have diarrhea for the next 3 weeks while you're on tour. But it's so worth it for the American food. But yeah, so she's super busy. But yeah, I would love to have her on the podcast to talk about her vocal lessons and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So, yeah, basically this is like the almost spoiler-free version, but yeah, just get lessons from Lauren. It'll be great.
Absolutely. Yeah, guys, check it out. I'll put a link down below to her website. Is it on her website where her...
It's on her Patreon, actually.
Okay, cool. So, yeah, check out her Patreon for sure. Patreon's the shit, man. There's a lot of really cool opportunities over there. And it really does help out creators. Like, it seriously makes a huge difference being able to get direct support from your audience and being able to give back to you guys. Like, that's the shit. Like, seriously, like, I love doing these Skype sessions. You know, I just did another one the other day with a guy that lives in Norway, you know, and he's a truck driver, but I mean, it's so cool getting to hear his perspective. Like, the guy's about to like buy a house, or he just bought a house with his girl. Like, I'm so stoked for like people, and I love that the internet is allowing for us to build these connections with people on more than just a fan supporter level. Like, we're building these like relationships, you know. I think it's fucking amazing. So thank you, Harry, for coming on this podcast and doing the Skype session with me.
Okay, so here's the thing that I feel like a lot of people don't talk about. Well, they don't talk about this in general, is that you can make yourself sing better. Like, literally. Like,
oh yeah.
And it still blows my mind. Like, I'm literally doing it and it still blows my mind, you know? Like, I've met so many people and it's just like, oh, like, I love singing, but like, I'm terrible. I have a terrible voice. And it's just like, did you know that like you can like train yourself to sing better? And it's just like, what?
Yeah, you can get better at it. It's a muscle. Like, you're...
Exactly.
Yeah, you just gotta...
It's bodybuilding.
Exactly.
It's basically what it is.
Seriously, that's literally it. And like, so for me, like, my story about like how my vocals have improved, and not to be like full of myself, but I mean, my vocals have improved like exponentially. The thing that like pushed me the most to get better at singing, honestly, was a critique from a band member from one of the bands I was in. Literally told me like, you should stick to screaming. Your singing is not good. and that was like super hit me really hard, and I was like, fuck that, I'm gonna get better. And
yeah, no, fuck that.
Fuck that. Like, how dare you? Like, I'm gonna get better because of you. Like, because you said that, I'm gonna show you that I can do this. So I was lucky enough to meet a friend of mine at a concert, my friend Eric, at a concert here in Orange County like 5 years ago. We just hit it off like the first time we met, and he literally asked me, he was like, hey, I was photographing the show, and he said, hey, I just did a cover of an Of Mice and Men song. Would you come film the music video, and would you want to do vocals with me for it? And I was like, hell yeah, dude. First day we meet, you're already asking me to like do this shit. Let's go. So I was like, yeah, let's do it. So literally the next day we recorded my vocals for it, and then I helped him film the video for it in a music studio in Orange County. And then I later moved in with the guy, and we started writing music together, and Chasing Satellites was born, and he really helped me grow as a vocalist. And my first single, Chasing Satellites, Lauren actually co-wrote it with me. So she actually co-wrote the lyrics as well as the vocal melodies and the vocal lines. So Lauren was a huge part of, my growth as a vocalist as well. Just by giving me rough vocals to sing along to, literally made that song. You know what I mean? Like she co-wrote it with me, and she's got writer's credit for it, all that kind of stuff. And so that kind of kicked off Chasing Satellites and my singing, and obviously I was still doing YouTube stuff, vocal covers on YouTube. So the more I was singing, the better I was getting. And the more I was working with Eric, the better I was getting, because he was literally teaching me as we were recording music how to sing better and how to hit these notes, and like the techniques on how to like move my mouth and my throat differently, and like open up and like add more rasp, or like, sing softer or falsetto, like all these kind of things. So over the past 5 years of knowing Eric, like I literally, like without him, I would not have gotten anywhere. And he's such a talented writer, and he used to do like post-hardcore music. That used to be his thing. He used to be in a band that was like post-hardcore. He would sing and scream. But now he's doing more like R&B, hip hop, like just a little bit more radio friendly stuff, if you will. But he's such a good writer when it comes to like post-hardcore and rock music, because it comes easily to him. So he can like literally bust a song out for me. Like I have a new single called Houston, We Have a Problem. It's coming out on August 4th. And literally I asked him, I was like, dude, here's my budget. I'll pay you this much for a song. And the next day he sent me instrumentals, and he sent me like I don't know how to explain it. Logic, the rapper, he kind of explained it. When he writes music, he'll do the instrumental, and then he'll just come up with like syllables and sounds that he's gonna use, you know what I mean? So he'll just like go along with the music, and he'll just start making sounds and saying all these syllables, and then he'll write to those syllables that he's coming up with. So that's kind of what Eric did for me. Like he sent me instrumentals, and he sent me syllables along with the song. And so I literally wrote to his like sound vocals, if you will. So I wrote lyrics over top that, and then I just recorded a rough demo, and then we went into the studio and we tracked it. And then when the song is done, I'm then practicing to my own music. So I'm learning how to sing it on note, like to hit the notes, you know what I mean? So that's been like a huge help, just working with somebody as far as a producer goes that understands my vocal range and how my voice works, and how to like use it as a tool to like get what I want out of it. So yeah, definitely finding somebody when it comes to your production and writing music with you is super critical and super important. And that's been massive for me.
Dude, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I can't thank Eric enough for all that he's done for me. And like I'll write with the guy as long as he'll let me write with him, you know? Like, I love the music he produces. He's just great at writing. Like, I'll literally send him references. He's like, okay, what do you want this to sound like? I'll send him 2 or 3 song references, and then he'll come up with this amazing, like, compilation song that's just a melting pot of these 3 or 4, however many references I send him. And he just gets it. He has such an ear for music that I don't have when it comes to writing, like, instrumentals, or, like, I can't play guitar. Like, I have a guitar, but I never learned. I was in the drum line in high school, but I can't play, like, a drum kit. So I don't know how to use Reaper or Logic or Ableton or any of that stuff to make beats. I just don't know how to do that kind of stuff. Like, I don't know how to make, like, drum patterns in Reaper or in the software. That's something I need to learn how to do, but I've never had to do it. You know, I've always had Eric there to do it for me. So I kind of lucked out when it came to, like, I just found the right person, and it's perfect.
Wait, so it's side tangent.
Yeah.
You were in marching band?
Yeah, hell yeah. So, okay.
Fuck yeah!
Listen, so when I was in 6th grade, I picked up the trumpet. That was the first, band instrument I played. So I picked up the trumpet, and I was like, this is for the birds. And then I was like, I'm going to try saxophone. So I played alto saxophone for a year, and I was like, nope, I want to play the drums. So then I started playing the drums for, like, concert band in middle school. And then in high school, I was like, I want to be on the drum line. So I started off on the bass drum, on the, like, 3rd bass drum. And I'm super small, so me carrying this gigantic fucking bass drum and marching around on a football field was not easy and not fun. And so my sophomore year, I finally got moved to snare drum. And I was so excited to play the snare drum because, like, being on the drum line is, like, the coolest fucking thing in the world. And Drumline had just come out, so I was, like, all about it. And I was like, I'm gonna go to college and be on the drum line, and I'm gonna be a badass. And then when I was 16, my dad was like, nope, we're gonna move to the Middle East, where they do not have football games and they do not have Drumline because it's too fucking hot to have Drumline there. So all your dreams are just crushed.
Oh my god, I fucking love that you played snare because I was a snare too.
Hell yeah. See, I could have, shit. If my family didn't move overseas, my life would have gone in a totally different direction.
I was one of those kids who was just, like, super serious about, like, joining drum corps after high school, even though it's so expensive. Oh my god.
It's crazy. I was so obsessed. I was in love with playing the drums, man. And, like, yeah, moving to the Middle East, seriously, like, it broke my heart. But I appreciate it now. But it literally did, because it, like, changed. I was gonna join the military. I was gonna play the drums. Like, I had this, like, path for my life all set out. And then I moved overseas, and then I was like, I want to be a photographer. I want to make movies. And so that's what I do now. And it's great. It's way cooler than, no offense, being in the military.
No, I get that. I actually understand that feeling just because, like, year and a half ago, I didn't know I was going to move to Vegas. So, but yeah, here I am, like, in a place that I never thought I would end up, away from my home state that, I had always lived in. Like, I had been born there, I had always lived there, all my friends were there, and then I ended up moving out here, and I'm just, like, happier than I've ever been.
Wow. Why did you move to Vegas?
Basically, my family decided they hated the snow and the inclement weather. So, yeah, it's just like, you know what? Fuck it. We're just going to move to a warm place. Why not Vegas,
Yeah, well, that's the warmest place. You sure picked it.
Yeah. No, it's pretty hot right now. It's gotten in the 110s couple times in the past couple weeks. We are currently under siege by a grasshopper migrations. They're fucking everywhere.
Oh my god, it's the plagues. The plagues are back, and the earth is too hot.
Yeah, everybody's been making, like I don't know, Locust and Sin City jokes.
Yep.
But, Yeah, if you ever go to the Strip in Vegas, there's this casino called Luxor, which is just like a giant pyramid, and at night there's just like a giant beam of light going through the top.
Chris Angel
top of the
levitated in it.
Yeah. But anyway, so like the light goes up with all these grasshoppers and they're drawn to the light. So there's just like this swarm of bugs on top of it.
Oh my God. That's disgusting.
I'm surprised any haven't gotten in my house yet.
Dude, that's crazy. Wow. I can't. That's disgusting.
I have had 2 get into like the place that I work at and fly at my face.
Grasshoppers, man. They do that. They tend to do that. That's crazy. Oh my God. Why are there so many grasshoppers in the desert? I thought they liked grass.
I don't know. Apparently, like from what a neighbor was telling me, apparently they migrate every couple of years, but I'm just like, can they just go away, please?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Although it does seem to be going away like today. So
wow.
That's good. But yeah, pray for us. We're currently under siege.
Yeah, that's insane. So after our grasshopper tangent,
I'm sorry. We're getting so off topic.
I love it. That's what a podcast is about. We're just having a conversation here. Hopefully people find this entertaining. But yeah, so what are you doing with your like music? Are you writing music? Are you in a band? Like what are your plans with this?
It's mostly at the point where I'm trying to get a decent singing voice, and then I actually want to start like posting covers and stuff.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and then I just want to do just sing like a fuck ton of my favorite songs, you know, and hope that people like it. And eventually I want to be in a band, but I don't know, like I'm cool with it not happening for a couple years, you know, because I still like have a long ways to go in terms of just figuring my own stuff out, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I feel like I can relate to that for sure. I mean, people ask me all the time, like, when's Chasing Satellites going to play a show? Listen, guys, it's literally just me. And I have Eric, who writes my music. And now I also have Ryan Cunningham, who has been doing a bunch of the instrumentals for my YouTube covers, or my vocal covers. And he's done all the women of the 90s, the women of the 2000s. So this guy, like, if you give him a piece of music and you're like, hey, I want to cover this, he's like, okay, I'll have it done tonight. Like, this guy is a robot. Literally a robot. Like, I hit him up 2 days ago. I was like, hey, a Patreon supporter requested that I cover I Think I'm Okay by Machine Gun Kelly. Do you have time to do it? Literally that night, he was like, here it is. And I was like, dude, this sounds just like the fucking song. Like, what the fuck? Like, that's the kind of skill I wish I had. Like, I wish I could just like hear a song and be like, oh, this is in C and I know how to play the fucking song now. Like, and I can just recreate. Like, I don't have that skill. And this guy, like, again, it's about finding the right people. And it's taken me, literally, I've been doing YouTube for like 10 years. It has taken me that amount of time to find somebody that consistently has the time and the dedication and the work ethic to do all these covers with me. And I obviously split all the profits with him because we put stuff on Spotify and shit. And I give him credit, all that stuff. He's awesome, man. And he loves doing it. And it's great. Like, finding people to be on your team that really care about what you're doing and they really understand what you're doing and they're down for the ride and down to be a part of it. Like, there's nothing greater than that. So I think build your team as you go. And like for me, for Chasing Satellites, like I said, like we haven't played a single show because it's just me, you know? And so like you were saying, like you're fine with it being a couple years. Like I don't necessarily need to go on tour tomorrow, you know? Like I'm fine with the music living online. You know, people are loving it. People are digging it and listening to it and streaming it and all that stuff, adding it to their Spotify playlist, whatever. And that's like, and that's the thing, like, because I've been an internet vocalist for so long, like, I think that's just where I'm at still, you know? Like, I would love to go on tour with Chasing Satellites, but I'm so busy trying to make a living as a videographer and a photographer that I can't just stop building that to go be a vocalist when I can just be a vocalist at home, make money doing it, enjoy doing it, keep and continue to do that while building a career as a videographer. So yeah, for me, like, it's just trying to juggle having two different career paths at the same time, basically.
I feel like I've already like met a person. It's just like, okay, when I have my band, I want you to be in it. He's one of just like the new friends that I've made here, and he's introduced me to so many just great bands. Like, he's introduced me to Dance Gavin Dance,
Yes.
Silent Planet,
Yeah.
Polyphia.
Yeah.
God, basically like a lot of like progressive metal and math rock. Like, that's his shit, and I love it. Like, our first conversation was just geeking out over this band Covet, which if you don't listen to Covet, listen to Covet. They're fucking amazing.
I'm writing it down. Covet. I've never heard them.
Okay, they're amazing. They're amazing. Their guitarist, her name is Yvette Young. She's just really, really talented. And the thing about Covet is that everybody is really, really good at their instruments, like almost on the same level. So you've got like a really good bassist, a really good guitarist, and a really good drummer just playing off of each other, and it's really, really interesting to hear.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I will check them out.
Getting back to the topic at hand. So one of the things that I have found the most interesting about vocals is just like the different tones you can do in your voice, you know, like almost like the different sounds you can make while singing, you know?
Yeah.
And how it just like completely changes your voice. Like, I feel like in certain respects, like I can do almost like a deep country voice.
Nice.
But in other respects, I could do just like almost just like a breathy falsetto indie kind of voice. You know?
Yeah. No, that's great. I mean, that means that your voice is dynamic. Like, you have a lot of options, and I mean, that's gonna come into play when it comes to like your writing style. You know what I mean? Because you're gonna have all of these different tones that you can play with, and yeah, it's like having a bunch of tools in your toolkit. You know what I mean? It's just these different types of vocals that you can pull from. Like, I have, like, Eric calls it my raspy voice. Like, I have my raspy voice, or my like high scream, or like whatever, you know, like, yeah, we all have these different qualities to our vocals that allow us to do different things and sing in different styles, and it really adds to the dynamic of your music, you know, just being able to like switch from one type of tone to another type of tone on the spot, and like even from like word to word changing your tones can be like super cool and super interesting.
Yeah, no, definitely. I just like, I don't know. I just find it like really interesting that like you can do that, and sometimes like you'll sound like a completely different singer, you know, and it's just like, okay. And you know, like, I'm at a point where I'm trying to figure out like, you know, like my default setting, you know, when it comes to that, which I actually think like I've almost found it, so that's exciting. That's like my most exciting vocal news at the moment. But yeah, I don't know. It's just really, I guess when it comes to stuff like that, like nothing is as set in stone as it seems.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because it's going to keep changing, you know? It's going to continue to change and get better and just evolve. You know, as the more you, it's like you said at the beginning of this, like, it's like bodybuilding. Like, the more you grow that muscle, the more it's going to change and like transform itself and like figure itself out and find its place, you know? It's like ideal setting, if you will.
Like like there are like vocalists that like I've started following where they can literally just like, I guess, feel the different parts of like their face and their chest that corresponds to singing, and just like actually manipulate them to create different sounds. And it's just like I can't even just like like, I could barely distinguish, like, feeling strain on, like, my vocal cords and then feeling it, like, on the bottom of my chin, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, it's just like, holy shit, how do you get there, you know?
But I mean, again, it's just practicing and working out that muscle, you know? Like, the more you do it, the better you're going to get. And, like, that's why I'm so grateful to have somebody like Eric, is that, you know, he lives close enough to me where I can continue to progress with him, you know? And the more he writes, the better he gets at writing and the more ideas he comes up with, you know? So we're, like, growing together, which is super rad. And so, yeah, I think that it just comes with time, you know? It just comes with time and practicing and just doing it. So, I mean, just do it, you know what I'm saying?
Definitely. So, if any of you want to, like, become a better singer, one, give yourself a couple more years of time than you think you need.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Two, get lessons, please, in some form or another, even if it's just YouTube tutorials and DVD packages, get lessons, please.
Yeah, even if you like self YouTube university it, you know, if you just watch YouTube videos like you were saying, like, there's so much free content out there. Like, the answer is you can find any answer to any question you have. And I mean, even like vocal warm-ups, like if you need vocal warm-ups, just YouTube search vocal warm-ups, 5-minute vocal warm-ups, you know, like whatever. And Lauren's got tutorials on her YouTube as well that are free, you know, and then for, like, if you like those enough, obviously you're going to love her actual course through Patreon. So, I mean, again, like, I can't express enough how great things like Patreon are for building these relationships and helping us have the opportunity and be able to, like, make the time to, like, you know, teach other people through Skype or through whatever methods that we use. So yeah, for everybody out there that supports anybody on Patreon, like, that's really fucking dope of you. Like, that's super cool of you. And anybody that gets one of these courses or, you know, does this Skype session with me or does anything with Lauren, like, yo, it's super cool that you guys are actually, like, wanting. It's cool that people want this stuff and that they're willing to, you know, pay for it and that they think that our insight is valuable in that way. So I just can't express how grateful I am. And I know Lauren's also super grateful for all of that. Other questions?
I mean, how off topic can we go?
I mean, whatever. We can talk about whatever you want. It's your session.
Okay. Well, okay. So there is something that I've been wanting to talk to you about for a little bit, and it's a little stupid, so bear with me.
I love stupid things. Let's go.
Okay. I just wanted to say I have the superior pet to Phantom.
No way.
That's it.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I do. Yeah,
nope.
I do.
I'm looking.
Yeah. No, I totally do.
I'm looking at Phantom right now, and he is just so fantastic. He looks so fancy in his tuxedo today. You don't even understand.
All right. He's a little salty because I just stole him from his nap.
Oh, yep. I get it.
But anyway, you guys can't see it, but I have the most adorable Chihuahua. He is actually adorable, and not in a Chihuahua adorable kind of way, an actually objectively adorable way. His name is Wesley, and he's the superior pet. I'm sorry I had to break it to you.
I don't think so. I just don't. My cat plays fetch. My cat.
But does your cat cuddle with you?
Yes, every night, upside down on his back with his feet sticking up in the air like a dead cockroach.
Will he do it for 15 hours a day?
Well, he'll nap for 15 hours a day. He won't cuddle 15 hours a day.
Does Phantom have his own, like, you know, language?
Oh, yeah.
Because my dog does.
Phantom comes with subtitles. When he speaks, you can see them. It's crazy.
Well, my dog comes with his own sound effects.
See, that's pretty impressive. Yeah, Phantom has a lot of sounds. A lot. So what, do you have any final, like, questions or anything you need, like, advice or help with when it comes to vocals before we sign off here?
I mean, not really. Like, I'm good. I don't know if you're good. Yeah, I would say just check out Kay's channel if you haven't already, and yeah, just have a fucking fantastic day.
Amazing. Where can people find you or the things you're doing? Do you have any covers up on YouTube yet? Do you have anything going on as far as music goes, or where people can find you on social media? Slash, do you want that?
I do want that. I currently don't have it. But yeah, I will. I will is the important part, you know?
For sure. So eventually, maybe I'll update you guys. Maybe whenever you start getting that, we'll do another one of these Skype thingies.
That would be fantastic.
Sweet. So do you have social media where people can find you?
I have an Instagram with 5 photos. So.
Sick. What is it?
So it's Harry-August.
Cool. I'll put it in the description. Easy. Well, hey, thank you for coming on with me. I appreciate it. I hope you got something out of this that was valuable, and I hope that it was entertaining.
Definitely. This has been a fucking delight.
Hell yeah. Well, that was one hell of a session. Thank you guys for checking this out. Harry, thank you so much for getting one of my sessions off of my website, justtheletterk.com/booking. You guys can book your Skype session, and I'll talk to you about music or photography or business or freelancing or whatever you want to talk about. It's an open conversation with me, and I love doing these. I really love doing these, getting to talk to you guys, my listeners, my viewers, my supporters, one-on-one about the things you're working on and the things you need help with. I get a huge kick out of this, and I can't thank you guys enough for supporting these. This is my 3rd session that I've done with a listener or a fan, whatever, and they're so much fun. Like, I love getting to know you guys on a deeper level than just you supporting my shit. You know what I mean? So Harry, thank you so much for coming on and being open to letting me record this Skype session. I really do appreciate it. And I wish you the best of luck, man. And I hope that your music career blossoms and grows exponentially. And I hope that you see so much success from this. And I just sent Harry the acoustic instrumental for Split so that they can practice along with this song. I'm super stoked. And if you guys want, like I said, if you want to get a session with me, go to justtheletterk.com/booking and book it today, and we'll throw you up in the calendar. All right, guys, I will talk to you next week on Project Freelance. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, please give it a rating and hit subscribe so you don't miss a future episode. All right, guys, I'll talk to you next week. Stay strong. Keep enduring. Oh, also, Houston, We Have a Problem is out. Go listen to Houston, We Have a Problem. It's out. It is out and available. I'll put a link in the description. Yeah, go check it out.